So there's this thing called a business meal deduction. And yes, that means you can write off food on your taxes. Let's dive in. What is up, everyone? My name is Tyra and welcome back to Keeper Tax, your one-stop shop for all things 1099 taxes. Here on this channel, we create resources for freelancers, independent contractors, gig workers, and anyone else who files or should be filing business taxes. So welcome back to another episode of 1099 Tax University, where I give you the tax content you need to set yourself up for success as a gig worker. In today's video, we'll be taking a deep dive into how to write off food expenses for your business. And I'm so excited to share this with you guys today because your girl loves food, okay? But before we get into that, let me clear some of the myths you probably heard about business meal tax deductions. A lot of people believe that it has to be a grand setting with a French waiter for a meal to count as a business meal tax deduction. This is completely false. Not only consultants and salespeople should claim business lunches, you as a gig worker or freelancer should too, as long as you know which lines not to cross. So if you're ready to learn how to write off business meal expenses, write down in the comments #YoungandHungry and let's get into the video. So what is a business meal expense deduction? In simple terms, business meals are deductible business expenses or meals that can be deducted from your taxable business income. For example, if you have a taxable business income of $2,000 for a month and you spend, let's say, $250 on business meals that month, the business meal expense deduction allows you to subtract that $250 from your $2,000 and you will only have $1,750 to be considered for your business taxable income. A business meal write-off is a way you can earn more and pay less in your taxes. So there's a three-step process to taking meal expense deductions. First, you have to ensure that these expenses are legitimate business expenses. Some expenses are deductible while some are not, and I'll be talking about that a little later in the video. Secondly, you must have documentation to back up these deductions. There's no need to include these documents in your business tax return, but you want to make sure that you cover all your bases just in case you get audited. And I understand that this might be a huge hassle and you already know where I'm going with this, but Keeper Tax is a one-stop shop for documenting these records. Keeper Tax is an app that makes it super easy for you. So just go to www.keepertax.com to get started with it today. So there's been a couple of changes to the guidelines on business meal deductions in the past years, but no worries, I got y'all covered. The recent 2017 Tax Cuts and Job Act has got a few people confused. However, it isn't generalized, so it doesn't change for 1099 taxes. What this means is food and beverages continue to be tax deductible. It only cuts off client entertainment deductions such as a round of golf, a concert, or baseball tickets. So I hope that cleared up any confusion that you may have had there. But if you have any more questions about this, you can always drop them down in the comment section below. As I said earlier, any official meal is tax deductible, while any personal or unofficial meal isn't tax deductible. Technically, the IRS guidelines classifies the food and beverages provided to a current business customer, a potential business customer, a consultant, someone with a similar business contact, or a business partner only as meals that are tax deductible. So I'm going to give you a few examples of some scenarios in which the meals would be tax deductible. Number one is lunch with an active client. It's very common that this is a business-related outing, either to give feedback on a project or an update to the client, or strictly official duties. The fact that you're going out to lunch with an official client to discuss business makes the meal a business meal and makes it tax deductible. Number two is impressing a potential client. So if you decide to impress a potential client by taking them out to a fancy restaurant to talk about work, this meal will be tax deductible. And get this, you don't even need to pay for the client's meal. Since it's an official meeting to build a network and increase your business statistics, it's definitely business related, hence tax deductible. Number 3 is lunch with a coworker. Just because you're self-employed doesn't mean that you don't have coworkers. So a coworker could be someone who is in the same line of work as you. So a lunch with this person to discuss, share experiences, and know more about your business and how to expand your space and network with this person is definitely a write-off. Number 4 is lunch with a business partner. So if you're out here sorting out official issues and discussing strategies to develop your business with your official business partner while grabbing lunch, it is of course a business expense and tax deductible. Number 5 is a business discussion. And this can include meals with anyone that you're discussing with, like a consultant, or if you have an interview with someone that you want to hire. Those can all count as business discussions. But you may want to keep some sort of evidence of what was discussed, like notes, or send a follow-up email. Hey, I really enjoyed our business lunch today. Here's what we discussed, just in case you get an audit, and you can definitely claim this as a tax write-off. So now that we talked about what we can write off, let's talk a little bit about what we cannot write off as a business meal expense. And number 1 is groceries. Okay, your groceries are your personal expenses. They are for you and your personal consumption. Even if you have them in a home office, it's still your home. And your daily meals is nothing related to business, so you will not be able to write this off. Number 2 are solo lunches. If you're going out to lunch alone and you're still doing some type of office work, it doesn't count as a business write-off because business is not being conducted there. Number 3 is hanging out with friends or family. As long as you're going out to have fun and it's nothing official, it is a personal expense and it is not tax deductible. Even if you're hanging out with a person that is one of your coworkers, if it's just for fun, it's not tax deductible. Number 4 is snacks consumed during work. So snacks, meals, or drinks that you bought or ate while you're working in the office are not tax deductible, including that latte that you got from Starbucks and that little cake pop that you got, even though it's so good, you won't be able to write those off. Now, there is an exception. So if you're a security worker who's paid on a 1099 contract and you're not supposed to leave your post all day, you can actually write off your snacks as a tax deductible expense. Some people spend a lot of time collecting receipts and keeping all of them year-round just to claim your business meal tax deductions at the end of the year. And some people find this impossible to do. So let me just make your life a little bit easier for you. You don't really have to do all of that. Your bank and your card statement is enough proof of purchase to claim your business meal tax deduction. So you can stop hoarding all of those paper receipts because it is no longer necessary. I mean, it's 2021, so that makes sense. But you will need to have some sort of additional digital breadcrumbs like calendar events, meeting notes, or follow-up emails just in case you get audited, because we always want to be on the safe side. I hope you guys enjoyed the ride. In the comments below, please let me know if you have any questions at all about anything that I mentioned in this video. And if you would like more easy to digest tax content, make sure you give this video a like. And if you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit that big red subscribe button down below. And make sure your notifications are on so you can get all of the alerts anytime we post any new self-employed tax content. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I will see you in the next one.